So I'm chilling at a gas station, right? Not the gas station. I'm at the Easy Mart. If you're on the west side of Indy, you probably know what the Easy Mart is. So I'm sitting at the Easy. A car pull up next to me. Little dude hop out. I got 5% 10 on my. So little hop out. I see him. He looking around. He looking at the car. Like, I hear him say, "Like this clean, bro. Clean." I'm like, all right, you got your looking. Now you looking a little too long, too hard. Pause. And eventually he get to the front of the car. He see me. He like, hey, bro, hey, hey. I'm like, I don't know what this look on, so I'm clutching my. I roll the window down. He like, hey, hey, this a scat. This a scat pack. I'm looking like, nah, bro, it ain't a scat. I'm like, it's just a V6. He started laughing and casually say, "Oh man, that's what, bro. On everything. If this was the scat, big bro, I was low key finna get you through there, bro. I was gonna have to get you through there for this month." And then he just walked off laughing, and I was just like, this little, just like, he just told me that he was gonna take my car from me. He just told me casually he was gonna rob me if my car was a V8, and I thought that was crazy. I'm looking like I put that reverse got up out of there because I'm like, I'm not with you little man. Y'all, you little they got it, bro. Y'all different. Y'all some different little.
He should have never even pulled up to that type of gas station in the first place. All right, let me break this down from several different lenses. First of all, I didn't even know Indy was that hood. I didn't know Indianapolis was getting to it. When I visited Indianapolis, maybe it's just because I stayed downtown and it was during the daytime and I went to the zoo and stuff like that. So I did normal human being things. I thought that Indianapolis was like a conference center and all of that stuff. Now, granted, I did go to a couple little spots and little restaurants and see what was happening. But for the most part, Indianapolis was chill. And then it was also a day trip, so I ain't even gonna trip about it. But his first problem, his first red flag, first two things that he did wrong is if you was familiar, because everybody is familiar with what goes on in their own city and their own neighborhoods, with where the YNs hang at and what's most dangerous, you should have never even pulled up there in the first place. That's number one. Number two, what you talking about? You rolled the window down to hear what he had to say. That could have been it right there. It could have been up because these young dudes, they don't care no more, man. They willing to risk it all. They ain't tripping about it. They got the broccoli hair, and you will get got. And that will be the end of your conversation. But the other part about it is that why is it that one demographic of people, and this doesn't mean that it's not crime that is perpetuated everywhere based off of um, you know, how close you are, right? And proximity and all of that type of stuff. But why is it always one demographic of people that you know for a fact that you got to be afraid of? If you pull up anywhere else, and well, it is. If you go to different parts of Los Angeles and you want to go to the Hispanic community and stuff, it could be problematic, but you don't really hear that. You don't hear you being able to pull up to a gas station and you getting carjacked, just because it's that particular demographic and you can see them. They all wear the same kit. They all look the same. They all rock out the same. They a lot more shifty now. You could pull up and then they can pull around straight from the back of the gas station and that could be it. And so for me personally, at this point in my life, as a man that has been able to survive 43 years on this earth and that has even been carjacked myself, I just know how to move. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no getting gas at night. There's certain places that you just can't go. Either you're gonna be downtown or you're gonna be all the way in the suburbs when you decide to move a certain way. And that's just the way that it is. You just can't do the same things as everybody else. And I know that there's gonna be people that say, don't stereotype, but stereotypes is the thing that actually keep you safe. That's the thing that keep you alive. Ain't nobody trying to be politically correct when you getting your car taken from you and you don't know whether or not this person is gonna kill you because they don't care and they doing it for fun and they leaving no witnesses. And when they go to court and they get sentenced, they ain't even looking remorseful or nothing. They laughing. They laughing as the cameras are showing them because They think that that's the thing that's going to get them the hood stripes. You know what I'm saying? And they going to visit their cousins in jail. All of their cousins is right there next to them. And so, I'm listening to his story and I'm thinking to myself, how can this guy be so unaware, not self aware, not saying that he's wrong? Because here's the thing, the person that could have been the victim should never be blamed, but at the same time, you got to be situationally aware. And that's why they say it's a difference between street smarts and hood smarts, because you got to be situationally aware, especially if you know what's going on in your spaces. And so if he asking you, is this a scat? Is this a scat? That nigga know what a scat is. He didn't seen 1,000 of them. He's seen the Hellcat, the Demon. He probably know everything about the cars. He know more than you do about the type of cars that you driving. And luckily you was driving a six. And this is another reason why a lot of people like to move inconspicuous. They don't want to bring too much attention to themselves, because they can't. It's not that they don't want to, because everywhere in the world, people that have resources, they spend it. And if you don't believe it, because y'all keep on believing this nonsense, like, oh man, all rich people, wealth is quiet, bullshit. Go over to Monaco during the F1 races. It's a display of opulence like you've never seen before. But people can't walk around and be proud of the things that they work for, even as a regular individual that don't even have a lot. And that's the thing. Most of the people that they taken from inside of their communities, not to say that it's right for you to take away from anybody, but most of the people that they taken away from inside of their communities are other people that's only slightly ahead of where they at. You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody that's in a Hellcat or a Scat Pack or something, and they pulling up to that type of gas station, chances are they probably live in the or close to the same neighborhood as you. They probably work very hard. They probably, you know what I'm saying, just probably staying in a space that they used to growing up in. They worked hard for their stuff. It really don't matter how they got it. If they, you know what I'm saying, paying a high interest rate, which I wouldn't recommend or anything like that, but it's theirs. And nobody should have anything taken away from them that's theirs. And so you become food. And they keep saying stuff like, man, why you don't go back to the hood and all of this. You know, I do to a certain extent, but you got to move differently. And I do it in order to actually help people, not even to the hood, but just homeless people in general. And I still got to be safe. I still got to be around police. I still got to have, certain people around me. I can't stop. I got to have 10 on my stuff. I don't want people to know who you are. You got to move in a certain type of car, all of that. And this is so sad because in the United States of America, and usually this is happening in Democratic hellholes where people are not even voting. They don't even know who their city council is. They're not even aware of the different millages that's going on. But they have some of the most ghetto, toxic, evil things that is happening and can happen to you just because just because of the car that you drive, just because you got up a little bit and you worked hard. And so they're gonna take from you so that they can go and sell it for pennies on the dollar. They're gonna take it to the chop shop. They're gonna take the motor out and put it inside of an old 300, and then make it do what it do, and then they're gonna go and do burnouts and tear up the whole city and the streets, and it's unfortunate. It really is, but it's old, it's tired. We need to take more conservative views and have a harsher hand on dealing with crime, because the fact that you can't even pull up to the gas station to get gas and to go into inside of the gas station and get a couple snacks without worrying about getting carjacked, or in 3 seconds your car getting lifted just because it's halfway decent, is a problem. But I always like to link back to the content creator, so the link gonna be in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. And y'all let me know if Indianapolis is like this, because I was looking at the police chief talking about it too. I didn't know it was like that over there.